Today is the 27th of October in the year 2006. It's 2:32 p.m. If you look above me, you will see a parrot hanging pendulously from the ceiling, chewing on something. Behind me, you will see some finch cages and even a canary cage in the corner. If I was to turn you around so you could look behind, you would see a television that's usually on. Actually, it's on less since I got the laptop because now I watch a lot of videos online. There's always got to be something going on besides what I'm doing. I think it's the ADD. I was diagnosed hyperactive as a kid. I don't know. I just know that I need to have more than one thing going on or my mind starts to wander. You know, people think it's rude that I get bored because I'm showing insignificant interest in them, but frankly, they are boring. You are as boring as I am. Get over it. Sorry, that's just for all those people that want to complain that I'm not interesting enough. Neither are you. So, you see that little double bar sign there underneath the video? Click it! You'll be free! Anyway, for those of you who think that's funny, not boring, hi. This is tea. I drink a lot of hot tea. Well, not a lot. I try to restrict myself to 2 or 3 cups a day, which isn't that much, but I am a caffeine junkie and I really shouldn't even have that much. So, we're planning Halloween. For the first time since I moved here, I'm planning to deck the house for Halloween. I've always wanted to, but living here alone, I just wasn't up to it. I wasn't comfortable. You know, when I first moved here, the house was vacant except for there was this dead fern in the window that had been there for like years and years and years, hanging there. It was this huge, huge fern that just was allowed to die, hanging from, you know, in a hanging pot. And so the children, they would walk by in this empty, spooky house, and this house is very good at looking standoffish. It protects itself, you see. It will look standoffish in order to say, hey, back off, I'm protecting what's inside me. But if you're welcome here, if you're allowed to be here, it exudes a warmth and a welcomeness. When I first bought the house, it was dead empty. But there was all this light, and even though it was a cool day and everything, the house felt warm. It said, come curl up in the corner and I will protect you. It just wanted me to move in and live here and buy it. And I did. And I love it. It's a beautiful house. So the children, it seems, thought that it was a witch's house. Didn't help matters that I told them that I'm a witch. Well, you know, I used to be quite gung-ho about my religion. Since then I've come to realize nobody cares. It's just me and what I am, and who I am, and what I do, and nobody gives a damn. And you know, I'm not out there drawing pentagrams on things and having rituals in the dark of night. I mean, I was into that stuff, but you know, it's theater, and theater's not really a whole lot of fun to do by yourself. It kind of needs people to do it with. So I quit doing the theater thing, and I'm not really much of a witch anymore. Aside from the witchy talents that got me here in the first place, there's not a whole lot about me that's witchy. I'm much more of a Buddhist these days. I even wear prayer beads a lot of the time, and I chant. My email chants when my mail comes in. I wonder if I can get it chanting for you. So I've got, like I said, I've got Buddhist leanings. I always kind of have. But I don't find that Buddhism has enough of a place. There it is. Hear that? You are being enlightened. Isn't that a pleasant voice? So, yeah, I felt that Buddhism doesn't really have a sufficient place for women, as many of the older religions don't. We're considered to be accessory citizens, helpmates, helpers, not a primary citizen. You know, as a witch, I am a primary individual. I'm considered to be capable of all the importance. Interesting news, there's something big on fire. I think I better turn it off so I can focus on my blog. I'm considered to be of primary importance, capable of hearing directly from God, capable of having wisdom, capable of having worthwhile things to say and worthwhile things to do, and equally capable as anyone else of being a prophet or a seer or powerful. Whereas I find that in the majority of the world's older religions, this is not the case. I think it comes from history. You know what? Before birth control, a woman was more or less ruled by her sexuality, in that if she expressed her sexuality, she would become a mother. And when you're a mother, it's very, very difficult to be or do anything else, especially if you don't have daycare support and you don't have social support encouraging you. It was considered abandonment if a mother went off to work and had children. Whereas today, these things have changed a great deal. But in those days, pregnancy was very hard on the body because you didn't generally have much medical care. Most women died young. They died in childbirth. And then to top it all off, and they had babies frequently. It was not unusual for a woman to have a baby every couple of years or more often, if she was in a loving relationship and had a lot of sex. The alternative was abstinence, and that's not much fun either. And I wonder if you can really fully become yourself if you have not at some point in your life joyfully participated in sexuality. I mean, if it's not your natural bent, sure, but most people, they get horny. Hormones hit them, they get horny. And if they cannot express that, they get twisted. I really think that. So women, unfortunately, were caught in this sexuality. If they expressed their sexuality, they got pregnant. Pregnancy creates hormones that frankly drive a woman crazy. Childbirth and child rearing wears you out, especially in those days when, very often you had to starve a lot. I mean, we don't appreciate how good we've got it here in the 21st century. It used to be normal to go hungry. Now it is tragic. So women in those days really weren't as likely to be capable of higher thinking. They were just, how can you think higher when you're surrounded by toddlers screaming and wailing? I think your average full-time mother would understand that. It's not that it's not within her, but she's doing something else. And so I think that women tended to be overlooked in the great religions in terms of being wise people, or having something of merit to say, or even being educated enough to say it, simply because the role that they kept getting stuck with as a result of their biology got in the way of being these people. But because of that, it became traditionalized, established in the religion, and women were written off as second-hand, as secondary accessories to men's accomplishments. God, I really don't think of myself as a feminist, but I sure do sound like one. I think of myself as an equalist. I think there's dramatic differences between the genders, but everybody has the right to prove the generalization wrong. Everybody has the right to prove themselves capable of whatever it is they really think they can do, and the right to stumble and prove themselves wrong. So, looks like this rant now has a subject. Yeah, that's good. I was wondering where I was going with this. And it's almost 10 minutes, which is the limit, so I'm going to quit now and find out what happens when this hits the web. Probably nothing, but hey, you never know.